Hi everybody, just a short video today to look at a tool that's going to assist us when we share data or work with others. So for example, I'm currently using Civil 3D, and as such I've created some Kogo points within my model. If I hover over one of the points, I see information about it, including its number. I've got numeric descriptions, I can see its elevation, things like that. Now, if I need to share this data with somebody that doesn't have Civil 3D, we can deal with object enablers. There's a number of ways to give them the data in this same context, but sometimes I might get a request that says, hey, can you just give me the Kogo points as just blocks with attributes? There was a legacy application years ago, Sofdesk, which is something that evolved into Land Desktop and then up into Civil 3D, that represented Kogo points as blocks with attributes. And some folks to this day are still familiar working with that particular concept. So if the situation arises that it would make sense or be helpful to provide your Civil 3D Kogo points as blocks with attributes to share with somebody else, I'm going to show you a tool on how we can do that. So my drawing right now contains only these Kogo points. If we go up to the Home tab within the ribbon and we click on the down arrow here next to Points, there are a couple of options, and the option that we're going to look at is Create Blocks from Kogo Points. So that's actually where we'll pull the command. The command itself is ConvertPoints2SdskPoints, which would have been Sofdesk points. So we'll go ahead and launch it here, and then I'll show you that command down at the bottom. So we'll click Create Point or Create Blocks from Kogo Points. We see there's the actual command. If we were to type it in, spatial filter, I could say none, convert all the points, or in this case, we could say just the current display or define a particular window. I'm not going to use a filter, we'll convert all of them. If I want to convert a specific point group, or in this case, we'll do all points. If I want a specific group, I could take and click and select that group from the list. We'll just do all of them. And then what I can do is I can tell it that by default, I'm just going to say I want it to use the block point, which ironically was the same name of the block back in Sofdesk. Or I don't have any blocks defined in my drawing right now, but if you had blocks with attributes, you could use an existing block and then you could go through and map those properties to align themselves. I say properties, the point number, the elevation, the description, to align with the properties of that block. So in this particular case, creating a new block is not going to be necessary. We'll go ahead and work with the one that it ships with. The layer that we're going to put it on, let's create a new layer here. We'll say, we'll just call it, I'm going to call it SDSK for right now, because that's actually what I'm creating. Sofdesk points, SDSK points. We'll say OK, and we'll go ahead and put it on that layer. And we'll click OK. We click OK immediately. You see the little dark spots come in. Those are our points. If we hover over the top of that, we see that it's a block reference now. Now, one thing to remember, if we're dealing with exporting our points or providing someone our Kogo points as blocks with attributes, we obviously don't have the same control over what's displayed, point number, elevation, or description, the way that we would with our styles. In other words, it's not going to capture what your Kogo points look like in Civil 3D and then create block representations for all of those to match or basically look the same where you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It doesn't work that way. Instead, you'll get one block definition. You'll have the different attributes that make up what's displayed here. The one thing that it will do is it will automatically put those attributes on layers that the person on the receiving end would have the ability to turn them on and off or isolate all of the points, numbers, all the elevations, all the descriptions. So I'm going to scroll down here. Here are the layers that were created, and if you're someone who used Sofdesk in the past, these should be very familiar for you. So if I didn't want to see the descriptions, I could turn those on and off. If I didn't want to see the elevations, same thing with the point numbers. All right, so very quickly we could take and do that. Last thing, the point is being displayed, but right now the point default type is just a spec. So I'm going to type in p-type. That'll give me a dialog box that I can set what that point marker should look like for the block itself or the AutoCAD point. We'll make it look like a plus, and I'm going to set the value maybe to 1, and we'll set that to absolute size. We'll say OK. All right, so now my point's displayed. So with that, I could write these out. We select one of the blocks, select similar. I could write those out as a separate file. whatever the case may be. But in any event, we have successfully converted our Kogo points within Civil 3D into blocks with attributes that maintain the same point number, elevation, and description, such that I can share them with somebody who would prefer to work with or may be forced to work with points with attributes. So anyway, I hope this helps, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. See ya.